I don't know, my name is Valari, and I am taking Sharon's place here. She's been training me, and so she's been doing an awesome job. She does an incredible job in children's ministries. So, okay, so training for VBS. VBS 2019. Here we come, ready or not. So thank you for coming tonight, and we're going to do this a bit differently. Last year, Sharon did a training that we emailed out. This year, this is going to be that training, and then we're actually filming it so that people who aren't here, we're able just to send them this meeting, so we're all getting the same information. So, real quick, if you have not signed in, please sign in. This lets us know who has had the training. And also, there are questions on the 21st. So the 21st, the Sunday after VBS, during second service, we get a lot of kids here that come back for VBS with their families, as well as there's a hot dog lunch afterwards. If you're able to come and just be an extra hand on deck that Sunday, that would be fantastic. I know last year we had 45 kids in Discipletown, and so it's just good to have some extra people. And then the kids know who you were because you spent the week with them, and they're seeing familiar faces, and they're like, hey Mom, this was my leader, and Dad. And so that just helps the kids feel comfortable, the parents feel comfortable. Okay, so this year's VBS is the Fluppet Show. And all of you are Fluppet Masters. That is your title. And we have fun names for the groups this year that you'll have on one of your handouts. The main verse for this VBS is Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And then Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And we really want to work with that with the kids this year, and just letting them understand that when we do God's will, he gives us the strength. We also want to be careful, especially with younger kids, that they don't like, well, I want Batman powers. That they're going to get Batman powers, because that's not what God's talking about. It's about being in his will, doing what he's called us to do, and we really want to be able to communicate that with the children. This year's missions project is going to be Compassion International, and we'll have more information on that. Each day will be some information, and then you'll get some more information about that as well. This year also, I'm excited about this. We have a new rotation. It's going to be the memory verse room. And it's going to be back here in room 2. And it's where the kids can come, where they're going to actually have time to learn the memory verse, as well as some downtime. Some kids might want to color. We might have some games like Jenga. But this is a time that we, as the leaders, get to know our kids. I encourage you, learn every kid's name personally. It means so much that when they come in, you can look them in the eye and say their name. They feel like they belong. And so this is a time that we get to do that. Also in this room, I encourage you to get to know your kids. Talk to them individually. This would be a time to find out if kids have a Bible in their home. If you say to the class, hey, who needs a Bible? They're all going to raise their hands. But there is going to be kids. I know, for example, last year I had 3 kids in my group. They did not have a Bible in their household. So we were able to send them home with a Bible so that they could have that. So this is a really neat opportunity that it's in a quieter room that you get to know your kids. It is also connected to the prayer room. And so they are able to then go into the prayer room if they need to and do the prayer of salvation. So we're tying that together this year. And I'm excited about that. Okay, so now on to some policy and procedure things. Everyone who helps must be background checked, and we have a list here. If you haven't done so, please make sure that you're up to date on your background, and if you're not, we'll get that going for you. We're going to be wearing red shirts again this year. I think that we still have some from previous years, so we'll have the red shirt and a name tag. Those 2 combinations, that shows anyone who sees us, you've been background checked, and you're allowed to be with the kids in that leadership position. So that goes for youth, adults, it goes for everyone. Please make sure you wear a red shirt and that your name tag is visible. Kids will be checked in as usual when they come in, like we do on a Sunday morning. We're also going to ask that we put their name tags on their back. This helps take away distraction, takes away them taking it off and them losing the name tag when it's time for pickup. So if you see a kid with it on their front, let's just gently ask them, hey, let's put that on your back. We're going to wear them on your back this year. Preschool kids will be dropped off out in the portable and picked up in the portable. Kindergartners will be dropped off here in the sanctuary, but picked up in room 2. So there, if you have questions about that, just ask on that as well. Bathrooms. This one's always a little bit tricky. I know last year we thought, well, we'll keep the doors propped open. That's not the greatest idea, so we are going to keep the doors closed, but we're going to take turns, adults in the bathrooms, kids in the bathrooms. And by adults, I even mean our youth workers. So if the VBS kids need to go to the bathroom, we'll kind of group them in, have them go together, adults will wait, and we'll just take turns on that. That's just for safety for us, for them, and then privacy, keeping the doors closed. If a child needs help in the bathroom, only adults should go in to help them. Grab 2 adults to go in. Don't go in on your own. Youth helpers, you're incredible, you're awesome. You have energy I wish I had, and I don't. What you guys do, the kids will do. So I want you to be aware of that. I want you to participate. I want you to sing loud, because you are the cool ones, and they're watching you. And I want you to take that to heart, because you have an incredible role with these kids. You really do. The library, again, is going to be center of operations and first aid. So if you need anything, go to the library. There should be someone there to answer questions, or first aid, the nurse, all of that. Okay, so day of VBS. Wear your red shirt and name tag. We're going to have 8:30 meeting. Please be here at 8:30, because that's when we'll have time of prayer, and we will have announcements. And we should be done about 8:45 so that we can be out in the lobby to greet our kids. The nursery for VBS workers, that will open at 8:45. So as soon as our meeting is done, you can then go in and drop your kids off. If you have nursery kids, please go online and sign them up for VBS now, because that will help the whole check-in, because we will still check them in like we do on a Sunday morning. So if you sign them up early, that will help Monday morning go much quicker. When we are here with our groups, when it is in the morning, when we're released, we will do it in a specific order, and we will have very specific doors and routes that the kids will take, so that we don't have bottlenecks or kids crashing into each other. So we're trying to very intentionally have the kids leave certain doors in certain orders, so that we can take some of the chaos out. There's going to be chaos. There's a lot of kids here. However, we will do what we can to bring some of it out. On July 14th, the day before VBS starts, we will have setup day here at church. It will start at 12:30 with a lunch. And so we ask that if you're available that day, we need all hands on deck to get the sets ready, to get tents up, to get everything ready, so that Monday morning when those kids show up, we are ready to greet them with open arms, and we're not worried about details. There is no childcare for that on Sunday, so please be mindful of that if you do have younger kids. I'd really like to encourage you to start praying for the kids in your group. You don't know who they are, I don't know who they are, but God does. And He knows what situation each and every one is coming from. And so I ask you right now to just start praying for them. Start putting on your heart the kids that you want to reach and how you want to reach them, and giving you ideas, because sometimes we, by day 3 or 4, we're tired, and we might need a little bit of extra enthusiasm. Start praying for that now. God knows. After this training, we're going to go ahead and break up into our groups that we're working with during VBS. So you will see on one of your pieces of paper In the back, there's a map that has the sanctuary. And so if you look on your list on who's working where, if you will go to your group and start meeting your group members, and then if you don't have a seating chart here in the sanctuary, we will, in the back, if you're working crafts or the memory verse room, the kitchen, so we can start getting to know who we're working with, because that's important too, that we are united when the kids come. If you haven't registered your kids for VBS, please do that. Again, that helps Monday morning go much smoother. The more kids registered, the better. Online registration will close July 14th around noon, or 12:30 or so. All right, that is what I have for training.
I just have a couple quick things. I have something for Aaliyah. If you would come up, Aaliyah. We're like redressing for Aaliyah today.
Oh gosh.
So first of all, she got a Super Team Sunday t-shirt.